Everybody, welcome to another episode of Dirt Road Salvation. I'm Joe, I'm your host, and we are coming to you from the bunk of my truck. So, if you hear the APU running, bear with me. But in this episode, we're going to do a one-year review of USA Truck on the IC division. We got 5 good and 5 bad. So, without any further ado, let's get to it and let's do it. So, here we go. So, when I started here a year ago, the fuel discount was garbage, okay? It was 15 cents a gallon. Now, granted, the fuel then a year ago was $2 cheaper on the gallon than it is now. So it was totally manageable. People were upset about it, but you know, it is what it is. Well, as of this year in 2022, the fuel prices have went up and we're at over $5 and in some places $6 a gallon for the price of diesel fuel. So with that being the case, they have raised our fuel discount to where the fuel discount now is 25 cents off the gallon. To me, that sounds like a step in the right direction. So some people, they want more, but if you want more, you can always get your own fuel card, which, on a side note, they do allow you to use your own fuel card here, and they will still file your IFTA. Number 2, the fuel surcharge. Okay, last year, about 3 or 4 months after I had been here, they went and started to mimic some of the other companies in the industry where on their broker freight, trying to mimic the spot market better, they took the fuel surcharge and turned it into an all-inclusive rate. Those of you who are running the spot market do realize that when you book a brokered load, that you have to factor in your cost of fuel to run that load, and that is part of the rate that you give the broker when you negotiate that rate. Well, on ours, they put it as an all-inclusive rate. I know Schneider before us, they went to an all-inclusive rate. They have their whole little air board that they have their own all-inclusive revenue. I don't work there. I'm just going off of what I was told from there. But, again, when the cost of fuel was super, super cheap at $2 a gallon or $2.30 or whatever, it was okay. But once fuel spiked up above $4 a gallon, you wasn't making no profit running them spot market loads or from the brokered freight. So they came out and made a statement, said that, hey, y'all, we messed up. We want to apologize. We are going to be putting the fuel surcharge back onto our brokerage freight. So now at this point, as of today, there is 100% pass-through fuel surcharge to the ICE independent contractors. If you're working here, every load you pull is going to have a fuel surcharge at this moment in time, according to the statement that was put out as of a couple days ago. That took effect on May 29th. Okay? Number 3. And we're still on the list of good here. If they screw up, y'all, they fix it. Okay? I've had a couple different instances where, you know, payroll got a little wompy, or this didn't get added in, that didn't get added in, or I got overcharged for this or undercharged for that. You know, and they always came through, and whenever I brought anything to their attention, they took care of it. If I get stuck somewhere for an exorbitant amount of time, they get me my detention. I get my freaking layovers. And if something gets screwed up, buddy, I promise you, payroll here will get it fixed, okay? I have never had them ever steal a nickel or a dime from me. Everything that has been taken that they needed or took was 100% justified, and when it came back that they owed me something, I promise you it was 100% always given back to me in full, okay? If they screw something up, they fix it. So, number 4, the money's decent, okay? Last year, I ran from May to December. I just talked about this in one of my live streams I did. From May to December last year, I made $104,000 gross in 6 months here at this company. So, net to me, out of that 104, 105,000-ish, I don't have my 1099s in front of me from taxes, but I am confident in saying that at least, I believe it was between 65 and 75,000 out of that 100,000 that went to my pocket. If you guys want more accurate information on that, I will get that profit loss statement sheet and we'll go through that and we'll talk about it. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, in 6 months, I grossed 100,000 out of my cut. out of my 65%. I grossed $100,000 in 6 months. So in all actuality, you could probably, if you work, and this is going home every 2 weeks to every weekend, okay? You work like I do and you book smart freight, you could easily clear 200 grand here if you work a whole year. But granted, it's a little, fuel prices are high right now, so a lot of us have fuel costs that cut into our profit margins now. So, you know, I'm relatively lucky. Everything I have is paid for. In 6 months, I went and I had everything paid for. I have 2 vehicles that are paid for. I built an entire shop to start working on my own equipment and still had money left over to burn, and after covering and taking out my percentage on taxes. I mean, we're still making it here. Granted, we're running the customer freight now, so we have the fuel surcharge, which offsets the cost of fuel, but the money is still here. And if you're struggling, trying to turn a profit here, you know, get with your advisors, get with other people who are here, reach out to somebody if you're struggling, because we're all on the same team here and we all want to see you survive and we all want to see you make it. So, number 5. Okay, this is a really down-to-earth, very hard story for me to tell. So, and this is probably the most important thing. They legitimately care, and I have a very good example as to why. As many of you know, I had to take some time off, and I was away on a hiatus, and I wasn't putting anything out, and I wasn't recording any new content. The reason for that being is I got a phone call while I was at work, and my dad had passed away. My stepmother had called me and told me my dad had went to sleep. So I was on a load coming out of Toledo going to Pennsylvania, and I called them up and I said, hey, listen, my dad just passed away. I'm going home. I'm not going past any yards. There's none en route. I'm going home. I'm taking the load with me. Send someone to relay the load. Not only did the entire team at USA come together to make sure I got home safely, there was never a question asked. They never asked me to take the trailer anywhere. They never asked me to drop anything off. They asked if there was anything they could do. They called. They checked on me. The safety department, hours of service, everybody, the whole department, the team, everybody came together and made sure that there was no issues. I got home. I got my affairs in order. We were able to have the funeral for my father. I was there with my family where I needed to be, and there was never a question asked, and they never asked me when I was going to go back to work or return. They never even so much as called me for anything other than to see, hey, buddy, how are you doing? My coordinator, Stephanie, she is a fantastic individual here at USA Truck. If you get on Fleet 10 and you get her, you better treat her right, because, buddy, she is fantastic. She will take care of you. We've talked on multiple different occasions about different things that's been going on, and, you know, the genuine atmosphere here for the people. This will probably be why I stay here for a good period of time. They genuinely care, but don't mistake their kindness for weakness, because if you screw up, they're going to hold you to it, and that's exactly what I would expect, because I do the same to them. But they genuinely care. If there's something going on, they want you to succeed. They want you to be a good business partner, and they want to be a good investment of your time. So they genuinely care, y'all. Now, we're not just gonna have a video about all good stuff. Like I said, I hold the candle to them just the same as they hold it to me. Okay, let's talk about the other side of the coin. The 5 things that I see are the biggest annoyance being here at USA Truck. And let me get back to my handy dandy notebook. All right, the trailer pool. Okay, this is one thing here at USA that may be a really big problem. We have a lot of old trailers in our fleet, and there are a lot of drivers here who don't do their pre-trips and post-trips on their trailers and check the DOT inspections. I have been caught on trailers that need DOT inspections on more than a handful of occasions, or found bad brakes, unadjusted brakes, or things of that nature. But, you know, that's because other drivers here aren't doing their job. So I can't say that's 100% USA's fault, but we do have a small trailer pool, it seems, and a lot of our customers, like Walmart and some of those, they have a tendency that they will hold our trailer as storage. So the trailer pool is a very lacking department. It could use some improvement, i.e. bringing in more trailers, selling off some of the old trailers. Nobody wants to throw their back out while they're raising some landing gear or putting them down. It's just no fun. The personal conveyance policy, that is going to be number 2 on the bad. It sucks. 46 miles. I can tell you specifically at 11:30 at night or 12 o'clock in the morning when you're in Dallas, Fort Worth, the closest place that you're going to find parking is our Waxahachie yard, which is 56 miles away from Dallas, Fort Worth, south on 35. You're going to violate in that situation. Personal conveyance just sucks here. It's 46 miles. They don't harp on you when you use it, but there are some instances where 46 miles just aren't enough. That could use some improvement. And hopefully they... Number 3, and this was a short-lived thing. I don't know if I'm the only one who did this, but there for a little while they merged fleets and put more trucks on less people. As of today, on the 30th, when I'm recording this, my fleet, Fleet 10, with Miss Stephanie, has unmerged and we're back on her board. So I'm very grateful to see that they fixed that. That was an annoyance for when I wrote this whole script out. It was an annoyance that really sucked. I don't know if all the other fleets are still merged or how they're handling that, but they took our fleet back out and gave us back to Fleet 10, we're back working 100% with Stephanie again. So, Stephanie, if you're watching, you're doing a great job. Number 5. Okay, this one burns me, and it drives me absolutely crazy. So, we had a bunch of hours of service violations, company-wide. Not just IC, but company drivers also, the whole company. And they got sick and tired of people violating their clock. And a lot of the violations came from the split sleeper, the 8-2 splits, 7-3 splits, people not knowing how to use them because they don't read the regulations and they don't do their job appropriately. They took that away. If you have a hours of service violation in the last 6 months, you're not going to have a split sleeper. And I don't know if new guys coming in are going to have a split sleeper. So if you're one of the guys who like to run split sleepers, that may be one of the things that you might want to ask about or not. For me, I only use it when I have to get a load done. And the fact that they went away and I can call into safety and get my split sleeper turned back on as far as I understand. But I've got stuff to do. I got a business to run. I don't have time to sit on hold and wait for safety to unlock my split sleeper. So that'll probably change in the future. I don't foresee that being a very valuable asset that we have to be able to deliver freight and an option of our hours of service. I don't see this being permanent. Once people wisen up and stop screwing up and violating their clock, which I don't see how it's that freaking hard. It tells you right there on the Geo tab how much time you have left. And when it's getting close, at 2 hours or an hour and a half or an hour, start looking for a place to park, dummy. Stop doing it. Do better. But anyway, so that's going to conclude this video. This is just my rundown, a honest, legit 1-year review of USA Truck. Is it the best company in the world? Are they absolutely perfect? Probably not. I don't think so. There's always room to grow. I can't say they're perfect. I can say my team that I work with is very good, very knowledgeable, and very professional, and I enjoy doing business with them. But they're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I screw up regularly. Just ask my wife. She'll tell you every time. So, they try. They do their best with what they have. And they genuinely care. That's why I'm still here. We've had our ups, we've had our downs. I thought about leaving, but I decided to stick it out. And I'm glad I did, because the things that I was frustrated about that was brought to their attention, they changed for the better. They genuinely listened. So I'm going to stay here until, I've outgrown this or I have to go to a different direction just based on the direction my life is going. But as for the time being, this suits my needs. For me. It works for me. I can't say that it'll do the same for you. I can't say that you'll have the same experience, but I can at least say that for me, It works. I like it here, and I plan on staying here for the time being. So, if y'all have any questions, drop a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down if you're still watching. Maybe subscribe. We do live feeds. We talk about these. We give trucking tips. We do all kinds of stuff here. So, until then, I'll see you next time. And remember, I love y'all. Stay safe, and I want to see you on the backhaul.